Hey guys, this is Arsenal Giants PS3 and we are going to be doing a squad builder today. I have not done a squad builder in absolutely ages, so I have no idea which episode we are on, but basically it's another silver team, it's a league team, and it's one I've rarely encountered. I don't think I've ever come up against one actually online, but it's full of cheap and really good players. It's got good, speedy defence, good passing midfielders, and pretty reasonably good strikers going forward. Not the paciest, but pretty good strikers. So that's kind of an outline, and it is, as you can see by my bench, a Russian league squad. I've got it in the 4-2-2-2 because they've got loads of really good central attacking midfielders, but I've also got a couple of left wingers and right wingers who you can use to kind of use to play on these and get like 7 chem or whatever you can get. And use to good effect. So we're going to start off from the back, and in goal, let me just get this all sorted out. In goal we have a player that I think used to play for Tottenham, not too sure, Pletiskota. Now this guy is my favourite silver goalkeeper of all time on this game. He's like the Joe Hart of the silver world. I don't know what club he's playing for there. FC Rostov. I paid 750 coins for this guy, and he's just someone that plays like Joe Hart. He gets, he makes saves that you'd never expect. I've come up against goal strikers with this guy in goal, and he's done a really good job. He's reasonably tall as well, 6'4". He gets all the ones right in the corner. He's rarely beaten by finesse. He's an absolute beast when it comes to goalkeepers, and there's not many in that category. But he honestly is. He's the silver version of Joe Hart, newer for me. He did an absolutely great job, and if a goalkeeper could be, if it was rational for a goalkeeper to be my favourite player on the team, he would definitely be in with a shout. Also at centre back, we've got 2 Brazilians. As you can see, look, these are just some players that didn't even make on the bench. The one good thing about the Russian league, they're all reasonably pacey for centre backs. I mean, this guy 70 pace, this guy's got 72, and this guy's got 72. But it's these 2 guys. These are probably the most expensive. What did I pay for this guy? 5,000 coins back in the day for this guy. 75 pace is his main stat there. I think he's quite popular in Brasilva teams. But he's got 75 pace, which is very good, I suppose, for a centre back. And he's also got 76 heading. 76 defending and 81 heading, which are crazy good stats for a silver 69 rated player. And his compatriot Antonio Ferreira playing for, I think that guy's, who's this guy playing for? Let me just tell you. Cuban Krasnodar, same as Lissandro Traore. This guy's playing for Tarek Grozny. Paid 1,500 coins for this guy, and he's got 81 pace, which is, crazy good for any kind of centre back, let alone a silver one. His defending and heading aren't too great, but because he's got the pace, he's not normally beaten, and he's reasonably tall, 6'3". This guy is 6'2". They're both really good defenders who are rarely beaten for pace and are very consistent. And now Wiltshire, I think his name. Pardon me, it's burped. Wiltshire almost got in, but not quite. Because this guy, Angua, you'll have seen him before. Wiltshire, I just want to say, is a great player. Look at that, 79 passing, 71 shooting, and 83 pace. You could actually play him up front in this team, but Angua gets the spot purely because he plays so much better than those stats, like 70 defending and 70 heading. You could put him in. I've made kind of gold hybrids because the Russian league is probably one of the best leagues for that, and he fits in better than. I think it's Anyakov or whatever his name is, plays for Zenit. I paid 3,000 coins for this guy. As I said, these prices might have gone down since then, but he's an absolute beast. Definitely worthy of the term. At left back, we've got someone whose name I'm not gonna try and pronounce, or Alexei Bererutsky, maybe. Paid 1,000 coins for this guy. There's not too many rare left backs. The other one is, I don't think we've got one here actually. Oh no, there is. Right there is this guy who's pretty good, but I preferred Bererutsky because he's got much better defending, much better heading, and his pace isn't too bad. He reminds me so much of Ivanovic. He looks just like the CSK centre back as well. But this guy's really good. Definitely worth it because he's one of those players that's really strong, and he'll just throw anyone off the ball. And I think he must have reasonably good positioning stats because he's never kind of caught kind of in a gap where he can't kind of yeah, he's always ahead of a pacey player enough so that he's not going to be kind of outpaced. He can kind of catch up with them because he's got good positioning. These are my two central defensive midfielders. There are quite a few good central defensive midfielders. This guy's actually an up. He starts off as a centre mid as well. I had to change him. I haven't used this guy as much, only 10 games for this guy. He's quite reasonably new, but I paid 1,000 coins for him, and mainly because he's got good passing, and in the 4-2-2-2 you need it. 77 passing, 74 pace and 70 shooting. His defending and heading aren't great, and he's not the tallest, but he did a really good job for me. Another player that gets a good shout is this guy, Amzimidov from Uzbekistan. I think that's Uzbekistan. Yeah, it is. Uzbekistan. Again, though, his defending isn't actually as good as his, and he's actually smaller. But he was a really good player for me as well. One of those players that can hold it up in the middle. But Galushakov, playing for Lokomotiv, he's a pretty good player. I definitely recommend trying him out if you're not too keen on Amzidov. Now this guy, look at him, he's got reasonably good stats, but for me he kind of falls down at the heading. Everything else there is really kind of decent. I guess the defending could be better, but you know, the passing and the pace and the dribbling is all reasonably good. He looks more to me like a central attacking midfielder than a defender. And he's only 5'10", but he surprisingly, actually, these two did hold up the game for me pretty well, and they weren't out of position too much. He's Brazilian, so he'll cost you. Oh, he only cost me 1,000 coins. Might cost you a bit more. Now we've got a whole selection here of central attacking midfielders, but there are two I prefer. First up, we've got an up here who's got amazing stats: 79 passing, 81 dribbling, and 82 pace on a silver up. Well, the pace not so much, but the passing and the dribbling is absolutely crazy. And this guy he's got that kind of shot. I don't know if it's known as a long shot, but the one where they kind of lean back and just pelt it into the top corner. I think Scotty Parker's got the same thing. I paid 1.5k for this guy, and he's one of my favourite players. Unfortunately, he doesn't have 4-star skills, as his dribbling might lead you on to believe. But he's just a very kind of classy playmaker, can play lovely through balls, and does a really good job. But one player that does have 4-star skills, and probably my favourite player besides Traore in this team, is Anazidez from Georgia. I think is that Georgia? Yeah, Georgia. He's got 4-star skills. He's got an epic finesse shot. He's got like a Tarat finesse shot, even though his stats aren't amazing. They always seem to find the top right-hand side corner. He's got okay pace. He seems faster than that to me because he's pretty small. Yeah, 5'7". He's got good passing, good dribbling, 4-star skills. He's just a really awesome player to use. He reminds me of Arshavin, like using Arshavin in game, which in real life isn't such a great epithet, but on FIFA is pretty good. And this guy, he's actually quite young as well, 92. Yeah, he's actually quite a good player in real life as well, quite a good young prospect, and he's really, really good in here. And I paid all 450 coins for him, and he was absolutely an absolute joy to use, absolutely brilliant. I don't know why it says I've only got 4. I think I bought him, sold him again. Oh yeah, because I got one for 450 as I was trying to trade. I'm a really poor trader, but I don't think he's gotten up. But he's definitely a really, really good player, and one to look out for in real life. And he plays for Spartak Moscow, or Moskva, or whatever it is. I think, as it says there. Next up, we got one of the best silver strikers I've ever used, coupled with another really, really good silver striker, Sishev, playing for Lokomotiv Moscow here. Is he ginger? Yeah, just about. He seems so much faster than that. That's it. That's my main thing. He felt like me, like one of those players that has about 86, 87 pace. He's only got 81 on here. His finishing is really good. His heading is good for a silver card. His passing is good for a silver card, and his dribbling is good for a silver card. He is small, yeah, 5'9". But when you put him up next to Lassana Traore, I've already got a bargain buys on Lassana Traore. Those stats deceive like a bitch. He is so much better than they put forward. Look, that's my actual record with him: 54 goals in 31 games. This guy might cost you about 2.5k, and Sishev will cost you about 3k. I got him for 1.3, but I've seen him go for 3k when I was trying to trade with this league. But yeah, Traore, go and watch the bargain buys video. He's an absolute beast, and Sishev just works really well off him because Traore is 6'8", Sishev is 5'9". Kind of the small and the small and the quick and the strong and the tall. It works brilliantly. It's one of the best partnerships that you can get on FIFA 12, I swear to God. So if you look at this whole team in the main, it's going to cost you about depending on how lucky you are with prices, about 30k. And then they've got, what's really good is they've got so many good kind of like reserve players that you can put in and out. First up, we've got Fernandez here, the Argentine. He's quite good for an Argentina squad as well because they haven't got very many good pacey defenders. And this guy, 83 heading on a silver, is absolutely crazy. I paid 600 coins for him. I possibly prefer him over Antonio Ferreira purely because for a little bit of less pace you get much better defending and heading. Collodin, who's got godlike long shots, 73 shooting on there. He cost me about 1,000 coins, and he's got pretty good defending and heading. I've got a pacey player here because some people do need at least one 85 plus pace striker. I wasn't too much of a fan of Moishavin from Armenia. Is that Armenia? Armenia, yeah. FC Kranzador as well. I wasn't too much of a fan of him because his dribbling actually seemed worse than that for me, and his pace, pace and poor dribbling doesn't really work, and his shooting was pretty bad as well. We've got Abina here. I just thought we'd have to have one 91 plus pace player. You could play him on here. He'll get, what would he get? He'll get 5k depending on which players you put around him. I reckon if you put C-Chev, oh god, what am I doing? Screwing up the video. If you put him there and then you put them there, yeah, you can get 7k. Pretty good player. Is he the one for? No, Olesh is the one with 4-star skills. Right here. Abina's purely pace, really. Olish has got the 4-star skills, but even Olish, he's reasonably pacey, but he wasn't that good. Adaya, if you can't afford Angua or don't want Angua, Adaya is just as good, to be quite frankly honest. The pace, you can't notice it that much, but Adaya is quite strong. I think he's a bit stronger than Adia, and he's a really good player as well. And I've already spoken about Yanbayev for Locomotive. Now we've got someone from Montenegro. Oh, I'm doing well on my flags today. Montenegro, 71 pace, pretty good. 77 defending, pretty good, and 65 heading. But what you got to look at that pace in respective to his height. 6'6", Dustovic, playing for Spartak Naukic. This guy, he's strong, he's tall, and he's reasonably quick. I didn't quite prefer him over the other players because he's a bit sluggish in taking the ball down and kind of clearing it. But he was a pretty fun player to use, and again he'll cost about 1,000 coins. This guy Adamov, not a great striker to be honest. He didn't seem as slow as that in his defence, but he's, as you can see, the 77 heading. He's more of a player you can hoof it up to. We've got Juranic here. I've had him in some Czech things. He's just a very solid centre back. Seemed a bit slower than that to me. I've already talked about Adamov. We've got one more Brazilian here. Not gonna lie, I haven't used this guy too much. One game he did get a hat-trick, to be fair to him. 81 pace is always, he'd be equal. He'd be just slower than Moishavin, but he's a pretty speedy player, around the same pace as C-Chev. I don't think he did have 4-star skills, and his shooting is okay, but he's not really a player I would go on about. Obviously did get a hat-trick in one game. I think the guy I was playing was pretty crap. We're just going to look what other players we have. I've got absolute tons of them. Eremenko was alright, bit boring. Oh yeah, this guy, 4-star skills on Corella Gonzalez. He plays a lot like Busafa, who's a gold in the same division. He was a pretty good player. Not too much to say him. He plays a bit, he just plays like that. Plays a bit like Ronaldo as well, Silver Ronaldo. He's very, very good. If you're willing to have him on 7chem. Got Billy Nentinov, 82 shooting is the only reason I got him, and he didn't really stand out for me. They've got loads of really good central tech midfielders, don't really know who that guy is. Got Toborinski here, who actually played in their Euro team. Nothing great to say about that guy, reasonable pace, haven't used him too much. Rafaldo, who's rubbish. Iberdic from Bosnia Herzegovina. He's got solid stats, but I didn't see too much improvement. Got this Portuguese guy, who I've already spoke about, was really good. Sushi, who's good. That guy, who's okay. That guy, who's not got great pace. Oh, and their speediest player is Legia, who's a Belgian. And he's got good pace, but I don't think he's got 4-star skills or anything special like that. So he's purely a pace player. So that's pretty much this team, guys. I would definitely advocate this team. Definitely try it out. If you're stuck for silver teams and you're bored of Syria, Bundesliga and all that, try out this Russian team because it is so much fun. Probably my favourite silver team. I sell loads of other teams, You know, I buy and sell, but this is one I've kept since about early February, which is reasonably long for me. So definitely, guys, try this team out. It'll cost you maximum about 50k for that whole squad, pretty much. And I'll see you guys in another video. I'm very happy to actually get a squad builder out. It's really weird. And I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.